It is not often you get green beans go unshowered, caffeinated, no coffee, and the PJs. Yes, I wear PJs to bed. I get cold in the night. I know a lot of people will emasculate me for it. I'm a PJs guy. Snowman and Christmas tree. I'm still in them. My daughter has not even finished her silver dollar pancakes downstairs. My wife just got this trade has taken my household, the world, by storm. So let's look at it. And here is the basis of this video. We all know that this is insane. Borderline ridiculous. Borderline something smells fishy. And so the purpose of my video right now, we may walk back through this trade and talk about the details and try to reason through it in a way that tells you I've done a little more research. But this video is my first reaction. This video is going to be unresearched. This video is going to be me trying to rationalize what we saw last night in the middle of the night, more or less, 12 a.m. Mavs, Lakers, here it is. Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick in 2029, which, for all intents and purposes, is going to be irrelevant. I mean, it's fine, but it's not something that moves the needle. It's not an NFL first pick. So if you're typically an NFL guy, a first pick in the NBA it matters significantly less than a first round in the NFL, at least as far as I know. I could be mistaken, but a team like the Lakers, it's not as valuable. The Lakers get Luka, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. And the Jazz somehow slip in here and get Jalen Hood, Shafino, Clippers second-round pick, and Mavs second-round pick. So this trade really comes down to Anthony Davis and a first for Luka. So let's talk about that. What does that mean? We have to understand, and you guys understand this, Luka is a top 5 player when healthy in the NBA. Shai, I always call him Shy. You know what? I'm sorry. It's Shai. Shai Gill, Jokic, I keep pronouncing everyone's name wrong. Anthony Edwards. There are people in the NBA who at this point, for more or less, are untouchable. They're not going to get traded. I would have thrown Luka on this list. I would have put Luka up there with these guys who are not moving. This is a guy who, in a few years, if not next year, maybe 2 years, was eligible for a supermax, would receive, $300 million. I mean, $345 million, I think, is what they said for his supermax contract. So here's the point of this video. I don't want to get into the weeds. I don't want to get into the details. You guys can find the details. I want to give you my opinion. I want to give you guys some conspiracy theories because there is no logical way to look at this right here. There's no logical way, given what we have seen. We got Jimmy Butler, who, maybe he can't find a home, right? Like, NBA trades are hard to really get fairly done. And this is so far from fair, just given the fact that Anthony Davis is 32, 33. He's got 5 years left, I would say, max, of high level, but basketball. Luka's 25. He has a decade of prime basketball as the best or a top 3 point guard in the game. And they're letting a future star walk. So here are a couple of my thoughts. One, it's bizarre to me that nobody knew this was coming. That's a red flag. It's bizarre to me that the Mavs, we all know the Mavs could have gotten more out of this trade. So why do the Mavs not shop him and try to get more than, like, Anthony Davis in the Lakers first round of 4 years? That's where you settle on. So my theory, my first conspiracy theory, is there is something truly wrong with Luka. injury-wise. They say conditioning, and I think that's a good cop-out, because if something down the line happens and they figure out this injury is going to be nagging, if they figure out this injury is going to give him problems for the rest of his career, think, Joel Embiid. If they see what's happening with Joel Embiid and they think Luka has something similar, or Luka, I don't think this is like the memes on Twitter are like, oh, this guy got traded for being fat. Oh, he got traded. He must be fatter than Zion. Zion's got a job, and this guy's getting traded. Like, I don't think it's about being fat, because we have seen Luka be unconditioned for his time in the NBA. He doesn't look like the most fit guy out there, but he's going to give you 40, 11, and 15 anytime he wants. Who cares? I'll be fat for 40, 11, and 15 in the NBA. I mean, look, Jokic isn't skin and bones, right? And I understand it's a different position. You want your point guard to be a little bit more agile, quicker, but the way this makes sense to me, and there's two things. This is the more realistic conspiracy theory. The way this makes sense to me is the Dallas Mavericks, having the inside source, are making an educated guess that Luka will never play basketball. And this sounds extreme, but this is what will never play basketball to the level that he has, given his injury. He hasn't played since Christmas, so a month and a half, not quite. They're looking at him and they're saying, we got to do something. And here is why the trade with the Lakers makes sense. The more you shop a guy, the more you come out and say, we want to trade Luka, and publicize that, because again, nobody knew this was coming. The more you publicize this, the more the NBA, the media, they start digging. Why? Wait, this is the face of your franchise. Though the Thunder have no intent of trading Shea. The Timberwolves have no intent of trading Anthony Edwards. So why are you intent? Like, you're never going to hear the Nuggets be like, hey, we're kind of done with Jokic. The more that you make this public and the more that you shop around and try to get a better deal, the more people ask questions. And the more people ask questions, the more they find answers, if answers exist. And my fear is, this is just my conspiracy, my fear is that an injury or an issue, and they can blame it on conditioning, so they're not lying, but they're kind of lying by omission, right? Because if something comes out and the Lakers get him and he doesn't heal and he's not well and he can't play, and we see him 2 and 3 years down the line and we may look back, we may say Dallas made a crazy, sneaky good call and they knew something. Okay, this is dirty, but they knew something, and they said it was conditioning, but really what they meant is this injury is far worse than anybody could imagine. I don't know. I'm sure that he has to pass physicals. I'm sure that these doctors are highly trained, and they're not going to try to pull the rug on each other as NBA franchises. But that's my only logical explanation for this trade. Dallas knew that Luka will never play basketball at the level he did again because of his injury, because of how his body has changed during this injury, because of what they're going to call conditioning. But it's deeper than just eating a couple of Twinkies and sitting around while you're injured. So that's my first thing. That's the logical reason that I can see. Dallas knows more about this injury than the public. And so we're acting like Luka is going to return as Luka, and Dallas sees that he will never be the same again. Some players, right? RG3, throwback. I don't know if he ever played again after that knee injury, but I think he played a year after that and he wasn't the same, right? They see something. That's one. Now, number two is ridiculous. And if you don't want a ridiculous conspiracy hypothesis, have a good day, enjoy your Sunday, turn off the video. Adam Silver, we've heard, desperate for ratings, desperate for attention. The NFL is going to end. Baseball still has some months, and so the NBA is going to get its time. The views should increase as we get closer to the playoffs and as other sports are not on. But we have heard that Adam Silver, he even talked about shortening quarters to 10 minutes and changing the entire dynamic of a basketball game to increase reception, to increase views and participation from fans. So the other conspiracy is, and I don't even like saying this because it sounds ridiculous, but Adam Silver lets this happen, which appears ridiculous on the forefront. Like, let's say what I just hypothesized about the injury is total bogus, and Luka will come back and he will be able to drop you a triple-double every night, and he has no issue, no injury. Like what I said in hypothesis one is idiotic. Then Adam Silver should have stepped in and been like, what's going on here? Hold on, right? Like, Mikal Bridges just got traded. What was the Mikal Bridges trade? I'm sorry. To the Nets. Mikal Bridges for 4 unprotected first-round picks. Like, this is Mikal Bridges. The Nets received Bogdanovich, a couple of other no-names, and 5. They got 5 first-round picks because of the Bucks were involved. Like, Mikal Bridges can hoop, but he's not a name that people, like, you may not even know who Mikal Bridges is, and they got 5 first-rounders for him. So this is absurd. On paper, this trade is absurd. And so Adam Silver should be questioning this, unless he had something to do with it. Unless he says, how do we improve reception to this league? How do we get people involved in this league? Well, first of all, you do something involving your best player, your most notorious player, which is LeBron James. He's not playing. I mean, he's playing at a tremendously high level for his age, but obviously there are young stars who have overtaken him and overtaken a throne of sorts. But at the end of the day, LeBron James is still probably the best known player in the NBA right now, regardless of how he's playing or how other people are playing. You get casual fans back in by making LeBron James more relevant, and his relevancy speaks for itself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that with AD, his team was relevant, and Austin Reeves is balling, and but they get rid of D'Angelo Russell. How do you bring life back into this? You give LeBron James his turn at a super team. Now, I don't know Luka's injury. Let me look. I don't know when will Luka return from injury. February 8th. That's in 5 days. Luka was targeting a February 8th return, but long-term concerns about conditioning are said to have factored. So it sounds like Luka is able to come back anytime. So let's say he misses that by a little bit. It sounds like the Super Bowl can end. Luka can come back from injury, and Luka, one of the best players in the NBA, revitalizes the Lakers, revitalizes LeBron's career. People are going to watch. That is going to get attention. Ratings will increase when drama unfolds. So having this trade, if I want to get deep into conspiracy theories about the NBA being a business, there are outside of, and maybe both are true. Like, maybe I'm just a genius, but outside of Dallas looking moronic, this could be something that it is allowed and done in order to cause a stir and in order to generate dollars. Because people are going to talk, people are going to watch, people are going to pay attention. Heck, I got up here, unshowered, uncaffeinated, in the J's, the jammies, to talk about it. So those are my 2 theories. I don't think number 2 is likely. I don't think this is some big crazy conspiracy to improve ratings. I think it definitely helps. It will improve ratings. And I think number 1 is more likely, that maybe Luka will never be the same. And Dallas knows that. And so they got what they could. And if they shopped around, the news would have came out that Luka was unwell. Luka was going to be the next Joel Embiid light. And teams would have been suspicious. And then they couldn't have gotten anything. And then they were stuck with him to either sign him for a supermax or let him walk for nothing. So they pulled Anthony Davis. They pulled a first rounder. And they accepted what looks like a bad trade, but maybe in time will turn out to be a good one. What do you do with Derek Lively, Anthony Davis, and Daniel Gafford, though? I don't know. You put them, Davis wants to play the 4, so I guess that works out. And the Lakers' big men, I get that they have big men. I get that LeBron can play all 5 positions if he needs to, but the Lakers' big men are kind of right now. So we'll see what unfolds there, but that's not this video. This video is just about conspiracies. Have a good day. I'm going to go have some coffee and take a shower.